Today we continue with our class, Women's Guide to Practical Halachah. And we continue with our topic of Pesach. So I ask everybody to get the Siddur ready. So we're going to start, if you open your Siddur on page 655. Our topic now is Eruv Tavshilin on the bottom of the page. So let's see. So it says, 1 second before we start, so let's dedicate this class also in merit of Refuah Shlema, Yaron ben Doris, Yehudis bat Sarah, Benjamin ben Sarah. Okay, let's go. So, Eruv Tavshilin. The requirements of Eruv Tavshilin. Okay. The Torah tells us that the food preparation is permitted on Yom Tov. However, this is true only in regard to the preparation done on Yom Tov itself, not after the Yom Tov has concluded. Okay. This possesses a problem when Yom Tov is on Friday. How we are able to prepare for Shabbos. So that's exactly our situation this week. So the Yom Tov is going to be on Thursday and Friday. And then coming into Shabbos. So as we said before, there is no problem. Yom Tov, you can cook, you can do many things on Yom Tov. I mean, for the day itself, but you're not allowed in general. You're not allowed to prepare even from one holiday to another holiday, or needless to say, for a holiday or Shabbos for a weekday. That's absolutely forbidden. That's a separate prohibition. So the question is, and especially in olden days, so today, okay, we have refrigerators and we can prepare for 3 days long, and which is proper thing to do, but in olden days it was not so easy, right? So I mean that the food is going to spoil and it's not going to be as fresh as good, right? So what do we do? So it's exactly our situation this year. So we must prepare this Eruv Tavshilin. Continue. So because of what? Not because of the Yom Tov, but because of the Shabbos. That is what we prepare for Shabbos by making Eruv Tavshilin. By the Torah law, one may prepare on Yom Tov for the purpose of Shabbos because guests might arrive unexpectedly, thus turning the preparation into the need of the day, not tomorrow. However, the Rabbanan tells cooking is not permitted unless Eruv Tavshilin is prepared. Since it is even considered that one stated, your preparation before Yom Tov is merely completing that on a Yom Tov. Started preparation. So here's the thing. So even though, as we said before, you're not obligated to count how many pieces of chicken or you're going to cook, right? You're not obligated. If it's like piece by piece basis, yeah, that's a problem, right? But if you cook, for example, things in one pot, like how many pieces of, like how many potatoes you're going to throw in that's basically irrelevant. But other pieces, like big pieces, when you do separately, could be an issue. Okay. But anyway, we said you're not obligated to count how many pieces your family is going to eat. Why? Because as they said, maybe guests are going to come. Maybe somebody wants have a good appetite, maybe a little extra. There is no problem. But still, it's not allowed to cook for Shabbos. But if we start cooking on Wednesday, right? Wednesday during the day before the holiday starts. I'm talking about this year specifically, before the Yom Tov starts, and then you continue cooking on the second day of Yom Tov, which is Friday, for Shabbos. There is no problem. You're not starting anything new. You just continue what was before, and that's the explanation for many things that we are allowed to do, right? So why? Like for example, we are allowed to leave the lights on. And they're on for the whole Shabbos. There is no problem. Or you leave your stove on. There is no problem. Or your air conditioner on. There is no problem. You're not doing anything active, so that would be allowed. Continue. Since by the Torah law, the reason one may prepare on Yom Tov for the purpose of Shabbos is because the guest might come and the food would be suitable for them, one should preferably do all of the preparations early on Friday. Otherwise, one risks doing Melachah on Yom Tov for the purpose after Yom Tov, for which the Eruv Tavshilin is ineffective, is not effective. So what he suggests is to go by two permissions. So first of all, you are allowed to cook on the Yom Tov itself for the sake of Yom Tov, right? Meaning what he's saying, try to cook as early as possible on Friday. So why? Because maybe some guests are going to come. There is no problem. But if you start cooking like 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. on Friday, so for sure it's not for guests, because the food is not going to be ready until very, very close to the end of the Yom Tov. So that's the problem. Okay. So it looks like, right? It looks like the person is going to be Melachah on Yom Tov for the purpose of after Yom Tov, and for which the Eruv is not effective. Meaning, for Eruv to be effective, so we need two reasons, right? To start, 2 conditions. Do Eruv Tavshilin. We're going to discuss the procedure now, and plus do it as early as possible on Friday. In case of the pressing need, one may prepare the food late in the day. This is because there is an opinion that the Torah law, by the Torah law, one may cook on Yom Tov for the purpose of Shabbos. In pressing need, we may rely on this opinion. So it's actually from Mishnah Brura. So again, we're trying to cover all of the grounds and go according to all of the opinions. So if you did Eruv Tavshilin, it's proper to cook as early as possible on Friday. On Thursday you cannot. Okay, on Friday, and you go by all of the opinions. But if something happens, somebody got sick, kids, this, that. Okay, so yeah, so then you're allowed to cook later on Friday for Shabbos. But okay, because we have some opinions to rely on. Okay, continue. Okay, so we're going to look at the Siddur soon. Let me finish the material what is here. Okay, so it says there is a dispute among the poskim whether Eruv Tavshilin permits Melachah unrelated to food preparation. For example, if one has prepared Eruv Tavshilin, may she carry without Eruv a Siddur or a muktzeh to shul on a Friday to be used on Shabbos? According to the strict opinion, one should not be allowed to do so. In order to abide by this opinion, one should make sure to receive a benefit from Melachah on Friday before Shabbos begins. However, in the case of need, one may rely on a lenient opinions and perform Melachah that is not related to food preparation and consumption. So let's read this piece from the beginning, and there is a very important concept. So there are things that are allowed to do on Yom Tov, but it's only for the sake of the Yom Tov, right? So it says that you're allowed to carry on Yom Tov in general, but you're allowed to carry only for the sake of Yom Tov, and you're not obligated to limit yourself. For example, you have a little baby, so and you know that for and you're going to visit your friends, and you know that you need to change baby twice. So technically, if you take 3 diapers, should be enough. So according to our poskim, they say no. Since it is allowed, so you can take the whole pack. You can take 20, 25, whatever. You should not limit. You're not obligated to limit yourself. You want to take 3, you can take 3, no problem. But something that is not related, that is not you cannot carry. You cannot just start carrying in a Yom Tov when there is no need for Yom Tov. So now we're going to see that this example is a very good example. There is something that's not for the need of Yom Tov. Okay, meaning somebody wants to bring muktzeh and to the shul, and as we saw, as we said before, somebody asked the question. about this muktzeh. It's actually muktzeh, very beautiful on from Art Scroll. They have for all of the holidays. In the shul that I go to, I don't know, people like to use it. I saw many people actually using it. So in this case, you don't have to think like what should I add, what should not add, what page I have to jump from this page to that page. Okay, everything like organized in the same place. Okay, but this muktzeh, it's only for holidays. So if woman wants to go on a Friday night, I'm talking about this week, right? So Friday is actually Yom Tov. Yom Tov, and she wants to bring. Actually, no. On Yom Tov, you can carry. Yeah, no. There's no problem. On Yom Tov, you actually can carry for Yom Tov need, but for Shabbos need, you would not be able to carry. Okay. So let's see. Let's start. There is a dispute among the poskim whether the Eruv Tavshilin permits Melachah unrelated to food preparation, right? And we're going to see what Melachah. Another example would be lighting of the candles. So you allow to cook, right? So you allow to light the light, create a fire from pre-existing fire. So in the same way, you allow to light the candles. Okay, and to food preparation. For example, if one has prepared Eruv Tavshilin, and we're going to see how to do that, may she carry without Eruv Siddur or muktzeh on shul on Friday to be used on Shabbos. So muktzeh is not because there is no problem with muktzeh whatsoever. Siddur, I would say maybe it's not a good example, because Siddur technically there is no problem to carry Siddur, because this Siddur is going to be in you can use Siddur on holidays as well. So maybe it's not that convenient, but there is no problem. Maybe it's not a good example. According to the strict opinion, not a good example in our situation. According to the strict opinion, one would not be allowed to do so. Okay, one would not be allowed to do so. Okay. In order to abide by this opinion, one should make sure to receive benefit from Melachah on Friday before Shabbos begins. Okay. So I think the better example would be if Shabbos and then it goes into Yom Tov, maybe like this. So and you want to get your Haggadah or something to the shul. Yes. So if you take this Haggadah with you to the shul, it's not like you're preparing. If you're going to learn something, if you read half a page, for example, or you read Halachas in the back of the book, there are usually Halachas. Okay, so then you derive your benefit on Shabbos, and there is no problem. Okay, but this example, that does not make sense. Siddur or muktzeh, because you can use Siddur or muktzeh for Friday and for Shabbos. Okay, but we got the point. Continue. However, in case of need, one may rely on lenient opinions to perform Melachah that is not related to food preparation or consumption. So meaning what? Meaning that I'm not sure why he's saying it's lenient opinion, that's what we rely upon. For example, so you can, since you're allowed to boil water, right? So you want to drink fresh tea, right? For example, on Yom Tov, there is no problem. So you can warm water to wash your face, right, and wash your hands with the warm water, right? So, but it's actually derived from here. Generally, one is not allowed to do any actions on Shabbos, on Yom Tov, if its benefit will accrue only after that day. Okay, even though there is no Melachah involved. This is called chachana. So meaning chachana, meaning the preparation. When Yom Tov falls on Friday and Eruv Tavshilin is made, Okay, one is permitted to do any action that does not involve a Melachah, even if it's not related to food preparation. For example, one may tidy a room that is no longer to be used on Yom Tov, but is needed for Shabbos. Okay, so meaning meaning to prepare a room like for example, on Shabbos, the question is asked if you can make your bed, right? So in the morning, yes, they say in the morning you're allowed to make your bed. There is no problem because it's like for honor of Shabbos. But the question is if you took a nap, if you're allowed to make your bed, and it's not such a simple thing. So if you sleep, like for example, in a living room and that does not look good, yeah, so you would be allowed. But if it's you slept in the bedroom, so you would not be allowed. It's like a preparation for a next day, unless you're very, very bothered by that. Okay, so so we're not allowed to prepare for the next day. Additionally, one may fold your clothing, even though it is not needed for Yom Tov, but only for Shabbos. Okay, that's a few leniencies. The procedure. So now we're going to procedure of Eruv Tavshilin. To make Eruv Tavshilin, we take two foods, one cooked and one baked. So basically, what is the idea here? So we take one cooked food, meaning whatever cooked. We usually take egg, right, and one baked. So now you're trying to cover all of the ground. So you would be able to cook whatever you need to cook, and you would be able to bake like in the oven or in a frying pan or something, right? So try to cover like all of the different options. Okay, the cooked food can be meat, chicken, fish, egg, etc. Okay, the size of the cooked food should be at least kizayis. So kizayis, as we said, like ounce. So for sure, if you take egg, it's more than enough. Okay. However, it is preferable for it to be more substantial than a kizayis. So egg for sure is going to suffice. Okay. So preferable to be more than kizayis. Paskim write that it is praiseworthy to cook food specifically for Eruv Tavshilin. So even if so it's very, very important what my wife does, right? So she cooked eggs anyway, right? Eggs for the Seder night for two Siddurim. But she said, but this egg, whatever she said, this specific egg, she usually like marks somehow, and she said this egg is going to be for Eruv Tavshilin. Okay, so even though they were cooked together, but that specific egg is going to be for Eruv Tavshilin. Okay. Again, it's not obligatory, but it's proper, like that you cook specifically for a mitzvah, for that specific mitzvah. The baked item can be bread or matzah. So bread. Okay, in our case, there is no bread. So in our case, it is a matzah, right? And it does not have to been baked specifically for Eruv Tavshilin. So of course, I mean, you take matzah, whatever you bought from the store. It is preferable that it will be whole item and the size of 2 kizesim. So if you take whatever matzah you said, 2 kizesim, I think machine matzah, this square one, I think it's 2 kizesim. I think so. Okay. Continue. If one does not use the baked item, however, but only cooked one, the Eruv Tavshilin is nevertheless valid. Okay, so again, why do we take 2 items, one cooked and one baked? Because you want to cover all those grounds. Maybe you would not need to bake, but maybe you change your mind and you want to bake something. Okay. Okay, so that's the reason. But even if you did only with one egg or one cooked item, cooked fish or cooked piece of chicken, it's still good. So you would be able to cook at least. The procedure for making Eruv Tavshilin is as follows. One picks up both foods with a strong hand, right, or at least the cooked item, and recites both the bracha and the text of Bedechein Iruva, etc., printed in the Siddur and muktzeh. So that's in our Siddur. As we said, it's on page 655 in English, 655. Right, so you say, blessed Hashem, I skip, and that commanded us with a mitzvah of Eruv. Yeah, go ahead, question, go ahead. I have a question or no? Could you mute your mic, whoever is not mute? Please check your mic, please. Thank you. Okay, so if you want to speak, go ahead. Okay. So let me read the end of the text from the Siddur. It says, though this Eruv, through this Eruv, may we be permitted to bake, cook, insulate, kindle. So insulation is, for those who do not know, it's a separate Melachah, right? So we're not allowed to insulate in many cases. Not always, like, it's okay, doesn't matter. Okay, we're allowed to insulate, kindle, flame. So kindle flame. So here, kindle flame for if you want to cook something, or kindle flame for candles, and actually for hot water, right? So when you're using hot water, so the burner, the water heater is going to go on. Next one, prepare and do anything necessary for the festival for the sake of Shabbos. On festival for the sake of Shabbos. For ourselves and all Jews who lives in this city. It's very interesting. So so we're trying to cover all of the grounds, and the last sentence is actually said in parentheses. And in olden days, I'm not sure why, but in olden days only the rabbi of the community would say the last sentence. So maybe he would forget, like, why we wanted to benefit everybody, right? It does not cost you anything. And it says, our poskim say, yeah, you can rely on this declaration of your neighbor or your I don't know, colleague or somebody, right? That you would be allowed to do all of the things, even though you yourself forgot to do Eruv Tavshilin. But they say only if you did it because of the circumstances beyond your control. But if it happens twice in a row, so you're no longer allowed to rely on this leniency, right? But from time to time, it's what happened. I mean, everything happens in life, so you can rely that somebody else did this Eruv Tavshilin, and they kept you in mind. And not you specifically, but all of the people in my town. Okay, that's very, very important. Continue. The procedure of making Eruv Tavshilin as follows. One picks up both foods with a stronger hand. Okay, sorry, we said that. One who does not understand the meaning of the words, or even a bracha does not fulfill the Eruv Tavshilin obligation. So that's one of the things that you must say in a language that you do understand. Therefore, one must also read the English translation or say it text itself in English. Okay, so again, the same as nullification of the home. It's not some things that you just read. For example, the Tehillim you read. You fulfill your obligation. You say the Shema. You fulfill your obligation. There is no problem. You read the you pray Shmoneh Esrei. There is no problem. But some things you must understand. You must understand what you're doing. Right? It's one of them. So you have to do this Eruv Tavshilin in a language that you do understand. Continue. Inclusion in Eruv Tavshilin. The custom is that the head of the household made the Eruv Tavshilin, on which all family members rely. Right? For a married children, staying with their parents on Yom Tov. And for other guests, it is preferable that they acquire a portion of Eruv Tavshilin in order to be included in it. They should leave the food used for the Eruv Tavshilin 3 tefachim, and have in mind to acquire part of the ownership. So let's try to understand. So guests in some cases it's like they independent, but in some cases, in some sense, they become a part of your household. Part of your household, for example, on Hanukkah, right? That's a very, very good thing on Hanukkah. So if you stay by somebody and you want to be part of the mitzvah, so you have to give that person some money, whatever, like minimal amount of money, so you acquire the ownership of the candle. So if they use oil, some ownership of the oil, right? They give you $1, whatever currency you have, right? So you give them money and you're part of the mitzvah. Same they say here, do if possible, do the same with Eruv Tavshilin. So it's this food is actually for you as well. So it's not like they doing something like extra for you. No, you actually were included in original Eruv. And when children get married and they come to your house, they actually not part of your family technically, right? Of course, it's extended family. We love them very, very much, but it's they're separate family, right? So it's proper that they being. So for example, if you have a daughter and she's adult, right, and she got married, so she has to light her own candles. She cannot rely on her mother candles. Right, or give some money, but it's proper for her to light her own candles. Very interesting. Okay, and unless somebody is a part of the household, maybe they eat with you together, they stay with you, you pay the expenses, stuff like that. So that's a difference. That's a part of the original household. And same with guests. It's proper to give them some money. I mean, from guests to the host to acquire some portion of this. Eruv Tavshilin, or we said Shabbos candles, or Hanukkah candles, whatever it is. Continue. Eruv Tavshilin food that is lost or spoiled. In order to rely on Eruv Tavshilin that was made, it must be intact when you are doing your food preparation, right? If it was eaten or thrown away, one is considered not to have Eruv Tavshilin and must start performing Melachah for the following day. Similarly, if the food set aside for the Eruv Tavshilin becomes spoiled or rotten and is no longer edible, the Eruv Tavshilin is no longer valid. So let's finish reading. We're going to explain. However, if only some of it lost, and kizayis of the cooked item still remains, one may continue to rely on that Eruv Tavshilin. So to ensure that Eruv Tavshilin is not lost or inadvertently eaten, one should put away in a safe place, such as refrigerator or cabinet, until Shabbos. Many have a practice to label the items. Okay. So let's try to understand. So this Eruv Tavshilin, it's not like only like a symbolic thing that we do. No, it's like a symbolic ritual, right? It's a real deal. So in order to continue cooking, so you have to have a beginning of the cooking. So beginning in double quotes, right? Beginning of the cooking, this matzah and this egg. So I said use egg maybe because nobody's going to eat egg, right? So if somebody see a piece of chicken, piece of fish or something like very attractive, they're going to eat. But egg is not so appealing, so it's easier to hide, I guess. So you can wrap it in something like wrap it, for example, in aluminum foil or something, in napkins. Like it would look very different, so nobody is going to touch this egg, and nobody is going to touch that matzah. Also wrap, like do whatever you need to do, so nobody would eat it, right? matzah is not going to spoil. So if you mark it, nobody is going to eat it. You put it on top of a refrigerator or something. Egg, if you put it in the refrigerator, further down, and it's only egg, so nobody most likely is going to eat it. But he's saying it's a serious business. If it's lost or somebody ate it, that's it. So there is no beginning. So we said you're allowed to cook as a step of continuation. There is no beginning, so there is no continuation. So must stop. Very interesting. Right, but it's very. So he said further, if the minimum amount is left, minimum amount, if it's kizayis, so kizayis is 1 ounce. So I would say like somebody ate half of the egg, so you have second half of the egg left, let's say, right? So you can rely on that opinion, and you can continue cooking. Okay, but be careful. Okay, and now of course there is a continuation of this story with the Eruv. So let's continue. Using the Eruv Tavshilin food, there is a rule in Halachah that once an object has been elevated for use to perform a mitzvah, we should use for the other mitzvahs as well. Therefore, it is preferable that the challah or the matzah be used for each of 3 Shabbos meals as one of 2 loaves for lechem mishneh. Additionally, the loaf should be eaten on Shabbos' 3rd meal. Those who have the custom to cut the loaves for each meal should use the baked item at the Friday night meal. Okay. So let's read it one more time, and we're going to explain. So there is a rule in Halachah that once the object has been elevated to use of performance of the mitzvah, we should use it for other mitzvahs as well. And we see it, we're going to see it when? We're going to see it, it was actually when people go to the bakery to bake their own matzahs, and they usually throw into the oven the lulav, right? The lulav that they use for sukkahs. So it's like they would save. Of course, it's going to dry. So you use one mitzvah going through another mitzvah. So it's like you using it as a fuel for your stove to bake matzah. So one mitzvah goes continues through the other mitzvah. So now we say, okay, you have this challah, you have in our case it's matzah. So use this matzah 3 times since on 3 times. Why see his hand on 3 times? Okay. So three times, meaning on Friday night, right? Shabbos day. And actually eat it on the 3rd meal. So mark it somehow. So separate it, maybe wrap it, do whatever you need to do. So you use the specific matzah. In our case, because we're talking about Pesach, twice as a second bread, right? Second loaf, and the third time or the 3rd meal. So eat this matzah actually. So meaning that you started this mitzvah of Eruv Tavshilin on Wednesday, then it allowed you to cook on Friday, and then you use it as a second bread on Friday night, and then the second bread on Shabbos morning, and then as a second bread, and you're going to eat it actually on Shabbos afternoon. Just 1 second. Continue. The cooked food should be eaten at one of the Shabbos meals, as also considered mitzvah. So, and this egg, well, let's talk about that, right? So this egg, it's also proper. So we have a custom, so not to mess up and not to forget. So we have a custom to eat it on Shabbos day. This egg we eat as Shabbos day. That's it. So not everybody must eat it. So 2 people can eat it cut in half, and there is no problem. But if other people want to eat, there is no problem. You can cut it in many pieces. It's not like something like you're obligated to eat. But it's proper to eat, since it was a preparation for the food. So it's proper to eat this food on Shabbos itself. Okay, so we're going to stop in this book here. So the next topic is Sfiras Homer. I want to leave for tomorrow. And Sfiras morning, I want to leave for tomorrow. So let's go. How much time we have? Okay, we have time. So let's see. The prayers on Yom Tov is very, very different. So let's start with Maariv, right? So on Wednesday night, this Wednesday night, we're going to start with Maariv. I'm talking about men, so it's page 310. No. So okay, it's 331. In English, it's 331. It's a Maariv for Shabbos and festivals. So remember that Pesach is not Shabbos; it's different, and Shmona Esrei is different, and many other different things. If you have muktzeh, no, you're lucky. If not, so we're going to go step by step and see what we read. So we start with Maariv, Shabbos and festivals, and everything is the same as on Shabbos, right? No difference. And then you're going to get to Shmona Esrei. So Shmona Esrei is not this one on Yom Tov. Shmona Esrei, you have to go to page 660, I think. 1 second. Yes, Shmona Esrei. So we say Shmona Esrei for festivals, 61. So and we're going to pray this Shmona Esrei all three prayers, right? On for Maariv, for Shacharit, and for Mincha. Okay. 1 second. So you pray this prayer, and on the page, actually on 665, on the page 665, you have this addition for Pesach. So just pay attention, and you add things for Pesach. 667 the same. You add the things for Pesach. And they highlighted something that is for Shabbos only. So of course you skip because this year Yom Tov does not coincide with Shabbos. Okay, so you go to the end of the Shmona Esrei, and after the Shmona Esrei, I think we say Hallel. Just 1 second. Shacharit is going to continue with Hallel. Somehow it does not say here, but I think we do. Seder night, yeah. So okay, so on it's an exception. Pesach is an exception. So after it is a Maariv. It's Maariv for sure, right? Maariv. So after you finish Shmona Esrei on page 671, you're going to pray Hallel, page 633. 633. So you say Hallel, and with the Hallel there is a different of the customs. So if you pray Sfard, so you don't say blessing on the Hallel. You let only there is the prayer leader. So only he says the blessing on the Hallel. But Ashkenazic tradition is prayer leader say the blessing on the Hallel, and everybody individually also says. Okay, so after you finish with the Hallel, so it's a little longer prayer. 1 second. Just 1 second. Does not say where do we go. Seder night. Continue 350. So you go back to 350. Okay. So and it's going to be the procedure for both nights. So you go to 350 and you pray Aleinu L'Shabeach. Okay, and after that, that's it, you're done. Okay, that's a Maariv prayer. So one more time, you start a Maariv for Shabbos, not without Kabbalah Shabbos, like whatever we say Friday night, we skip that. We start directly from Maariv for Shabbos, 331. Then we go to pray holiday Shmona Esrei, right, on 660. Then you finish, you go to 632. You say Hallel, and then you go back at the end of the Maariv and say Aleinu L'Shabeach. And the same procedure for both nights. That's it. Any questions on what we said? Go ahead.
Yes, Rav.
Yes, I'm listening. Yes.
The last one you said was what now? The last prayer you said was what?
Aleinu L'Shabeach. I think it's called our duty. I apologize. Let me find it 1 second. It is our duty to praise the Master of all, as to ascribe greatness to the molder of primeval creation. That's Aleinu L'Shabeach. Okay, that's the last prayer. That's how we usually end all of the prayers. So there is no difference. Okay.
What page is that, Rabbi?
350.
Thank you.
So basically, I don't want to confuse it. So we started with Maariv on holidays, on Shabbos and holidays. Then we skipped the Shmona Esrei. We jumped to different Shmona Esrei. Then we did, after that Shmona Esrei, we went to Hallel because it's a Seder night. And then we jumped back like to the same prayer, but we only skip this Shmona Esrei and other things. That's it. So we back to the same page. If we would pray on Shabbos, so we do Shabbos regular Shmona Esrei, and we would end up here. So that's do not be confused whatever we said. Any other questions? Because I want to go to different prayer. Okay, no problem. So in the morning, it's a little more complicated, and we're going to explain. So we start all of the morning blessings as usual. Men say karbonos as usual. Everything as usual. But then you go to the page 369. So it's actually same for Shabbos and Yom Tov, right? It's exactly the same. 369, and you pray Psuki de Zimra. And then after Psuki de Zimra, you go to Shema, blessing before Shema, blessing after Shema. Everything is exactly the same. But then when you arrive to Shmona Esrei, you don't pray the Shmona Esrei. As we said before, you jump to page 660 again. 660. That's your for holidays. Right? You include all of the things that you had to include. And then after that, you always, on all of the holidays, I mean, besides Rosh Hashanah, we say Hallel. So after that, after this Shmona Esrei, you go to Hallel, page 633. So let's see what we do after that. That's a little different. 633, because we need to say to pray Musaf. So let's see what they say. Okay, so let's continue. So on so we go to after we pray Hallel, right? We go continue with regular prayers, and I mean it's a Torah reading. I'm going to skip if somebody prays at home. Yom Kippur can also, we don't say. 1 second. I think we skip all of this. One second. I just want to make sure, because 1 second. the first day of Pesach. Okay, so we go to the page 672. So that's page 672. It's very interesting. So 672 is a one page. 1 second. It's a one page prayer. So pre Musaf piyut. Okay. So and 672 it's I mean they sing it very beautifully, right? If you want to read the explanation, you can read the explanation. And after this piyut, like piyut, it's like some poetic thing, right? So poetic verses, and these 3 paragraphs they sing like a very beautiful tune. And after you finish that 673, you go to page 456. Very simple. 456. It's like at the end of the Shacharis. 456. It's Ashrei. Pray towards those who dwell in your house. Okay, Ashrei 456. 457 in English. Okay. Then you go 1 second. Then you return the Torah. We skip this thing. And we have to be careful what we read next. On this side. And after that, we're going to go to Musaf. 1 second. And Musaf for the festival is on page 674. On the page 674. So if it's like after this piyut, this piyut was on 673 and 674. If you open 675 in English, it's Musaf for festivals. Right, and somebody sent us a reminder, Baruch Hashem. So, but this reminder is on top of the page. So it says on Shmini Atzeres, the Gabbai announced who makes the wind blow and makes the rain descend. Right, before the silent Shmona Esra. If an announce was not made, the phrase should not be recited in silent Shmona Esra. On the first day of Pesach, very interesting, so it's our Thursday morning. On the first day of Pesach, Hazan repetition begins with prayer of dew, right? I mean, if on the page 702, but if you don't have a Hazan, if you pray at home, let's say, so you just skip it, but let's quickly see 702, also beautiful song. I mean, it's a prayer, but it's beautiful prayer. Okay, it's actually it's only one and a half page, so it's actually we ask for dew. Okay, very interesting. So we start asking for rain, and we start for asking for dew. Okay, but okay, so it's only when you have a chazan. Okay, and then you start this musaf. Musaf is additional prayer. Women usually do not pray Musaf, but in this case, I mean, if you have time, so you should pray. And okay, and we stopped saying this: "Who makes the wind blow and bring down the rain?" Okay. In just Shmini Atzeres Simchas Torah, and in silent Shmona Esra of the first day of Pesach, add the following praise: who makes the wind blow and brings down the rain. Okay, so and then you pray this Shmona Esra. It's what is it? The Musaf, and then you add whatever you need to add for Pesach. Right, you go to the end. Chol HaMoed. Okay, one second. And and there on page 681, it's actually thing like edition for each individual holiday, right? So first edition is actually for first day of Pesach, right? Second part, of course, we skip all of this. It says on Chol HaMoed Pesach, it's not our day. So then first day of Sukkot, you skip all of this. You skip, and then you continue. So if you continue on all days, continue 687. 687. You continue with the prayers. Okay. What's the difference? Okay. And on this holiday, on the holidays, we usually have Kohanim, right? If you daven, if you pray Nusach Ashkenaz, right? So in Ashkenazic shul, they bless people. So when somebody is blessing you, the Kohen, somebody says he's a Kohen, he must be Shomer Shabbos. If he's not Shomer Shabbos, you better leave the shul, like go outside and stand outside, because his blessing, it's like a curse. You understand? But if he's a kosher Kohen, yeah, it's very good to get blessed with this kosher Kohen. Okay, so we have to be very careful from whom we're going to get the blessing. Okay, so we continue to the end. So a person takes 3 steps back, but just so you know, for example, you have this kosher Kohen, and the procedure of the blessing of the Kohanim is actually on the page 693. So it's Birchas Kohanim, priestly blessing. Okay. So, but sometimes there are no Kohanim, right? Or okay, there are no Kohanim. Okay, so we just can continue as a regular day. But if there is a Kohen, so we go into page 693, and okay, that's 693. That's what congregation Kohanim recite. Whatever. Then we say Modim, right? We bow, and then the Kohanim, right, and recite the blessing, right? Because it's actually a separate mitzvah to bless a Jewish nation, right? The Kohanim say that, yeah, that we're going to bless the nation of Israel with love, right? And we say Omer. So on the page of 697, it's actually the procedure of Birchas Kohanim, right? Of blessing of Kohen, of Kohen, right? So the Chazan, the leader, actually tells him what to say. So he said Yevarechecho, right? And if you look on in English, so meaning may he bless you, right? And it's actually if you read fast, so you can get all of these lines whatever we said, and try to concentrate on what is being said, and there are all of the explanations. And then after they finish the blessing, right? After they say Veishmarecho, right? So you answer Amen. It's a third word if you look on the right. And when Kohanim chant, it's not like some clowns they chant with them. That's not what we do. What we do, we try to read this text on page 697 about the dreams, right? Master of the world, I am yours, and my dreams are yours. I have dreamt a dream, but I do not know what it indicates, and so on and so forth. So try to concentrate and prepare maybe this text in advance, so you'll be a little fluent. So when normal coins, when they're not in rush, so even you know the text, so you can finish reading this text, and then they do the second line, right? May he illuminate, right? Second line on page 297 on the bottom, right? And after you answer Amen to the blessing, again you read this paragraph about the dreams. So that's very, very important, and you read the commentary. So it's you ask Hashem to explain you the dreams, what is going on, right? And after the last blessing, the third blessing of peace, right? When Lecha Shalom, right? So there is a even longer paragraph. So don't be in a rush. Everybody try to go to the coin and say thank you. Okay, don't go to anybody. Don't thank anybody. Right? Try to finish the whole paragraph. It's very, very important. There is Kabbalistic reasons. So the Kohanim sing extended chant before Shalom, peace, right? And the congregation recite the following supplication in undertone. According to many authorities, one should repeat Birchas Shel Olam, so supplication instead. Okay. The 22-letter divine name appears here in the brackets in a bold type. So it's very, very important not to skip this thing. This name should be scanned with the eyes but not spoken. Okay. So and you see in a bold type this letter. Just look at them and do not try to pronounce the letters. That's it. So it's very, very important. This Birchas Kohanim. 1 second. So what do we do after the Musaf? After the Musaf finished, somehow it does not say here, but what we're going to find. After the Musaf, so you go back. Why don't say what to do? 1 second. I guess they said it in a different page. We're going to find. A 476. So you go to page 476. 476. Yeah, and from this page 477 in English, right? So it's Ken El Ein Kelakeinu and Kelakeinu. So all these beautiful psukim. You read, and until the end. Then Aleinu, it's Aleinu. Okay. So let's see, and that's it. So until the end of the prayers, until and when you get to the page 489, so it says actually the song of the day. Right, but the song of the day is actually it's going to be on Thursday, so you have to skip and to the right page, and the right page is where we usually read the song of the day. It's 162, I think it starts. So the Thursday is going to be on 167. So today is the 5th day of the week, and right, and that's it. Psalm 81. So basically, that's the prayer for Shacharis on Pesach. Shacharis for Pesach, and what else? And Mincha on Pesach, you just pray a regular Mincha. Whatever we pray on Shabbos, it's page I think 551. Let's see. I use a little difference, but I think 551. No, it's not. Mincha for Shabbos. Okay, so Mincha for Shabbos starts. Okay, one second. 542. So you start Mincha. Of course, you skip the Torah reading, and instead of Shmona Esrei, whatever this regular Shmona Esrei that in on page 515, you go to 660, and that's it. And you finish with the Aleinu Shabeach. That's our duty, and that's it. So technically we cover all of the all of the prayers, whatever you need to say on Pesach, and second day is exactly the same as the first. Exactly the same as the first. The only difficulty I would say is in the morning, because you have musaf, you have special things that are added, but otherwise that's it. Yeah. Any questions on what we said? Okay, no questions. So tomorrow I saw that it was one question about Sfiras Omer. I want to leave it for tomorrow because I want to do with the whole text, and it's separate discussion. We have another day tomorrow. So Israel, can you? Okay, go ahead. Questions. Go ahead.
Rabbi, quick question. One of the questions I have, I think I also saw it in the chat, and that's one of my questions as well. Is what do you do if you have an electrical stove? How do you leave it on for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday?
Yeah.
Leave it on those days? Okay, good.
That's it. And it was I remember another question was for a solar stove cooking, what else? A solar panel. There is no problem. So you can cook. You can cook on Yom Tov as a regular stove.
But you can adjust it, no? You can adjust it? Like adjust the heat or...
Yeah, okay. Here's the thing. So, okay. So you can always make it bigger, right? Larger, the flame or whatever, the heat. And if needed for cooking, you can make it lower. So not everybody agree, but Moshe Feinstein Zatzal said that since it is for purpose of the cooking, it's not like you extinguish it. Extinguishing is not allowed on Yom Tov. Understand? But for a piece of for the purpose of cooking, it is allowed, and it's where we can rely on this opinion, strong opinion. Yeah.
So when let's say, because I have it, so I can put it on the lowest setting just to keep it warm, and then once I want to start cooking, I can put it hot, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
So I just wanted to draw the parallel. So you can ignite if you have like a gas range, for example. So when you make it higher in your electric, it's exactly the same. So just so we have it's exactly the same concept. Okay.
Okay. Perfect.
You're welcome. Any other questions before we go to the chat questions? So Israel, could you read for us these chat questions, please?
Can I ask something related to Pesach?
Okay, go ahead.
I checked the Siddur, but it says weekday Siddur, so I try to look up for the page you mentioned, and they don't appear. Maybe because it's Yom Tov.
Exactly. So that's thank you for the question. So basically, these electronic Siddurs are very good, but of course, I mean, they want to be kosher, and they do not want their Siddurs to be used on Yom Tov and Shabbos. That's why they did not include all of these things in electronic Siddurs. That's the reason, basically. So you need for this you need a physical Siddur. Yes.
Did I hear it right that it is skipped the word Amidah on Yom Tov, on this Yom Tov?
No, it's totally different Amidah, totally different. Specifically for Yom Tovim, it's a different Amidah.
Is this the same Amidah for Shabbos?
No, different. Even if Shabbos coincide with Yom Tov, so we read that Amidah on 660. I mean, not in this year, but I don't want to confuse anybody. But it's in general. I'm talking in general. If Shabbos coincide with Yom Tov, it's possible, right? So you read that Amidah that is for a holiday, and there is addition for Shabbos. And there are not only one, the many like in a gray box. You just have to be careful. There are many additions for Shabbos. Yes. Okay.
Because I try to take the Siddur Ashkenaz on Sefaria, and it does not say Pesach. It says something like Shalosh Regalim, something like that.
Shalosh Regalim means 3 holidays. Yes, correct.
And there it appears
yes.
Amidah with the blessings.
Okay, so I did not name it, but this prayer is for Shalosh Regalim. Correct. It's for 3 holidays. Yes. That's okay. So let's. Could you see these questions from
so,
yes.
Can a non-Jew who is in the process of converting invite another non-Jew that is also in the process of converting to have a Seder together, so we won't be alone?
Yes, absolutely. That's amazing idea. Let's do it. And actually, just to add, I don't remember if we said it or not. So in this halacha, our Mishnah Berurah says clearly. So a Jew that does not keep Shabbos is actually in this halacha. It says several times in Shulchan Aruch. So he's considered to be as idol worshiper, and we're not allowed to invite him on Yom Tov. You understand? So he wants to stay wherever he wants to stay. Let him stay wherever, right? And then on another day we're going to invite him. So we're not allowed. So he in this for these halachic purposes, he's 100% idol worshiper, and we're not allowed to invite him on Yom Tov, not even on Pesach. So some people like to be heroes and do kiruv. No, nobody does kiruv on Pesach. That's on Seder. I mean on Seder. Because it's just too much activity. That's what I said. So if you people say I'm going to be alone, so be alone. Like it's so much material that you have to cover and try to concentrate, try to delve inside by yourself. Interest in Haggadah. There's so much information available. So yeah, you're going to be busy the whole night. 3 hours guarantee. Right. Okay. Go ahead. What else?
Can we use the same candle holders that we use for Shabbos to light for a Yom Tov, or do we need a separate set along with the memorial candle?
Okay, that's a perfect question. So I would say it's proper. It's not obligatory, not mandatory, but it's proper to have separate candle holders. But if for Shabbos, some people prefer many candles. So here you can have even 2 candles or three candles. There is no problem, and they're not so expensive basically. But if the person does not have there is no problem. You can use the same, but be careful, please. If you use your candle holder on your Shabbos table, so you have to wipe on the bottom, make sure there are no crumbs on the bottom. Be careful, but otherwise, yeah, you can use it. But it's proper to show Yom Tov a little more respect, and I would say that the same. I would say just say a person have to have is possible to have a separate clothing for Yom Tov, and some even say even more dressy, more expensive. I mean, for it depends on the person's budget for Yom Tov. They don't know, even for Shabbos. Men and women, absolutely, yeah. Okay. So, needless to say, candles. But if you cannot afford, for whatever reason, did not know, did not buy, so buy for the next time. Okay, go ahead, please.
I don't know. I'm not sure if this has already been answered about there is no driving or electricity handling on Pesach. Is that correct?
Okay, so there is no driving on Pesach in generally, right? So all Pesach is a holiday. So on a holiday, they have exactly the same laws as on Shabbos. The only difference, the only few differences. One of the difference is that we're allowed to cook, as we explained today, from the beginning to the end. So you can take a piece of chicken from your freezer, right, and you start cooking from the beginning. Of course, you're not allowed to even touch the chicken on Shabbos, but on the Yom Tov it is allowed. And on Yom Tov it is allowed to carry whatever you need to carry, even if you don't have an Eruv. So you're allowed to carry things that you need for Yom Tov. There is no problem. And what is the third thing? I think maybe it's third, but I think, yeah, these are two main differences. That you're allowed to cook and do other things that connected to cooking. For example, we said that you can wash your face or wash your hands. Some people say wash your feet with hot water on Yom Tov. You're not allowed to take shower, but I mean, we're going to discuss the shower situation in another class, not today. But that's it. So you're not allowed to use electricity unless there's electricity that was running before the Yom Tov. So that's would be allowed. Like you have lights are running. There is no problem. So just so we have the big idea, like general idea, the example that the Talmud uses for all these things, right? So they say you can open this irrigation system before Shabbos, so it's going to irrigate your garden on Shabbos. So since you're passive, you're not doing anything active, there is no problem. So same concept with your lights, with your refrigerator, with your electric stove, whatever you did, whatever you did, permissible action before Shabbos, and it's continue running. It's like independent on you. Okay, that's a basic idea. Okay, what else?
So if using an electrical stove / oven, it has to be turned on before Pesach to prepare food, correct?
Yes, yeah, but prepare. I mean, as we said, it's proper to prepare before that. So yeah, but if needed, as we said, since it is permitted, yeah, just leave it on and you can cook whatever you need to cook. Just make sure do not turn it off. That's the main point. Do not turn it off. Okay. Go ahead. What else?
And the next is, can we cook on Pesach with a solar stove?
So solar stove, we said there is no problem. So I think we had the similar question before, but it was concerning Shabbos, related to Shabbos. So on Shabbos, even though we said that we can use the solar power, but we can use the solar power directly. So if you have an egg, right, and you have very hot weather outside, you can put the egg outside and it's going to cook on its own. There is no problem. That's the solar power is the solar heat, I would say, right, is permitted. But when you have a solar panel, it actually converts the heat, the solar heat, into the electric currents. So when you use it electric, it's it doesn't matter. You plug it into wall or you use it from electric from the solar power. It does not make any difference. So if you started this stove before holiday, there is no problem. Go ahead. Yes.
I have one question about this question. What if it is a solar stove, but it's only with lenses and with concentrators, only mechanical? It's allowed?
I didn't get this question. How is it a bit mechanical? I mean, it's from the sun, no?
Yeah, it's like how to say, like a dome that it concentrates the heat.
Oh yeah. Okay. I mean, if it's only as you said, if it's only like from the sun, but through the like prism or something, it's a good question. I would say there is no problem because it's there is no electricity involved. But it must be like straight, like magnifying glass. Let's say huge magnifying glass above your frying pan. I would say there is no problem. But that's my opinion based on logic. It's not halachah. If it's actually you need to know halachah, we can double check. But my opinion, it should not be a problem. It's my opinion. Yeah, go ahead.
it would be this both Yom Tov and Shabbos, or only Yom Tov?
No, it's on Yom Tov there's no problem whatsoever. I apologize. You're right. Even on Shabbos would be allowed. Yes.
So I remember many classes ago that I'm not sure if it was allowed or not allowed to place some clothing that has moisture to the sun to dry. I don't remember.
Okay, so it's different issue. Okay. So we have the thing that is called Maris Ein. So Maris Ein is the way that I see. So people, so you should not put yourself in a situation where people suspect you of wrongdoing. How? That if you have something like what is it, like wet clothing, and you put it outside to dry. So people would say, yeah, this guy, they Mechal Shabbos, they wash their clothing on Shabbos. That was the reason. So you're not allowed because you put other people in that situation. And it's actually, it says, I apologize, I'm not sure why. I have a book prepared, but I've completely forgot about laws of Lashon Hara, but I give you a small halacha, not to leave us empty-handed. So it says when somebody speaks Lashon Hara, three people are punished. Who? The one who is speaker, the one who is listener, and the one who they spoke about. So the question is that the obvious question. Okay, the speaker, I understand he was speaking. The listener, we understand that he enables the speaker. Instead of say, I have to go, I have to run, I don't want to listen to you, it's Lashon Hara. He did not say that, she did not say that. Instead of they continue staying and listening, enabling the speaker to speak. I understand they're guilty. But this person, like he's not even there. How can he be guilty? And actually, as I heard from Rabbi Rubinstein, he reminded me, it's actually from Sefer Chafetz Chaim, right? So he said because he put himself in that situation, he did something questionable, right? It's like this Maris Ein, this drying your clothing on like outside, right? On Shabbos, so people suspect you of being Mechal Shabbos. So because he did something like which is questionable, and he gave people the reason to speak about him. That's why he's guilty as well. Right. Okay, what else? Tell me.
Are we allowed to give tzedakah by charging our credit cards in this borrowing money from the bank, or do we only give money we have from our paycheck?
That's a good question. No, there is no problem with giving through the credit card. And I'm trying to remember the halachic explanation. So it's not exactly. I mean, you borrow money, but you promise to pay back. It's like a loan, right? So you take a loan from someone. So it's actually your money. So you said, can I borrow from you $100? So you can take $100 and you can go shopping with that money. There is no problem. It's your money, and you promise to pay back. So it's your money 100%. The only exception I would say would be to buy a ring. If a couple get married and he would buy a ring paying with a credit card and he did not pay completely this bill, that would be a problem. But otherwise, there is no problem whatsoever. Yes, you can charge with a credit card, and many times it is preferable to do through the credit card because the person can lose momentum and say, I'm going to write check tomorrow, and would get to never write the check. That's very unfortunately happens very often. Okay, what else?
Can I go to a question that is still related to this and later on to another?
Okay, one second. Let's finish with the questions on chat. Maybe somebody else from the group wants to ask a different question. So let's not steal the conversation. So let's finish with that questions.
So how should one taught in Torah besides just reading the Chumash and commentaries.
Okay, the Chumash is a commentary. It's it's one of the Torah study, but there are many other for the Torah study. For example, Halachah, what we do, like Halachah, you toil, you try to understand, you have to take notes, and you try to memorize, meaning going over and over the same information many times, and go to the Talmud, and that depends on the level of understanding of the person, if it's men or women. So women also can toil. There are many very interesting things that women can do, right? Men, of course, Talmud, for sure. Okay, what else?
Yes, are you allowed to shop on Chol HaMoed?
That's a very good question. So practically speaking, we should not shop on Chol HaMoed, but there are exceptions. So, for example, if there is a 75% off whatever your refrigerator, and you dreamt about this refrigerator for past 5 years, so yeah, you can buy. If for sure you're going to lose money, but otherwise I would say just try to keep us stay away from all of the shopping. And of course it's enjoyable for people to go shopping, but stay away and enjoy actually the Chol HaMoed. So no, on Chol HaMoed many things are actually forbidden. So maybe one day, one second, did we go in the laws of Chol HaMoed? I'm not sure. Okay, so many things are actually forbidden in Chol HaMoed. Yes. So if absolutely not necessary, if you need a fresh clothing for example, you have a short or this and that, it's spoiled, you have a stain, okay, you can buy, but otherwise no. Okay. What else?
There are some things about switching the spring-summer prayer. So I have a question about this.
Okay.
What we must pray for in Israel to happen, to rain or not to rain?
No, it's actually we started the change from a Chol HaMoed. So since we asked these things only on Chol HaMoed, so one second. So we're going back to the Siddur.
Or when exactly is changing? Which
on
day?
On Chol HaMoed. So we stop saying who makes the wind blow and brings the rain down. So we stop. So usually when we stop doing something, so we're not announce about finishing the blessing. So if ask for a blessing, yeah, we ask for the blessing. But about the announcement, we don't stop. It's actually on page 101. It's one change, and second change is on page 105, year of prosperity. So you say good, give us blessing. Right, so you change. It says it says in the commentary, year of blessing, page 105. In the following blessing and give blessing recited from a Chol HaMoed on Pesach, right, throughout the Mincha of December 4th or 5th. So meaning what that since it is a part of the weekday prayer, so it of course. The first opportunity to say on Chol HaMoed. And on Chol HaMoed, since we're on the topic, I just want to add, on Chol HaMoed, we pray, okay, let's leave Chol HaMoed prayers on Chol HaMoed. I'm going to explain. I don't want to take too much time. Okay, but it's a little different prayer. Okay, go ahead. What else?
I think there is one more.
Okay, go ahead.
From the chat. Two left. Can we start counting the Omer on the first night of Pesach? Is that right?
No, it's on the second night, but let's leave it for tomorrow. That's going to be my topic for tomorrow. Yeah, go ahead. What else?
The last one is, can flame be transferred to cook?
Can flame be what?
Transferred.
Transfer, yeah. You can transfer a flame that's like as we said, you have your side candle for 48 hours. For example, you want to start cooking only on the second day, for like not even on the second day. For example, you have all your food, right? All your food ready for what should I call for the first day, for the first night, and you don't want to waste your gas, right? So you want to start with from the second day. So you can next day in the morning you can take a match to take a light fire from this candle and start your gas stove. There is no problem. Absolutely, yeah. You can start new. I mean, that's the transfer fire from one place to another. Or, for example, we had a few times when my neighbors like candles went off, and they came to us to borrow the light, so they can start light. Also possible. Okay. Any other questions from other people? Please, any topic? Anybody?
I have one.
Okay, go ahead. Ask. Go ahead.
About using the oven on Shabbos.
Okay. So it's not. You see, oven on Shabbos, it's not such an easy thing, and
To warm.
it's not. It's not simple. So because on one every time when you open the door on in the oven, the cold air, from your room goes inside and the flame goes on, for sure. Right? That's why most of the people they do not use the oven on Shabbos. So just to cover on the bottom, so the put the black is one thing, but this guarantee when you open the door, the flame is going to go up, because the temperature drops suddenly a lot. So that's why we don't use. So what practically what you can do according to all of the opinions. So you can heat the oven like a lot, or cook something, and just keep it closed and keep the food warm there for Friday night. That would be allowed. There is no problem. So and turn off the gas. So yeah, or heat or electric. So you can open and have your food. There is no problem. But all other usage is very, very questionable. Okay.
So I didn't understand this, that the flame goes up. Maybe it's a system that is automatic.
You have a thermostat, same thermostat. So you have a let's say setting. So in your oven, let's say 250 degrees Fahrenheit. When you open, so in room you have a 75. The temperature drops suddenly. But when you close the door, the thermostat turns on the heat, and it goes up for sure.
In this case, this is Argentina, and there is no such technology here. So it's just a regulator.
Yes.
And I'm referring in this particular case.
But still, this regulator, it's there is a thermostat there. It's always thermostat. Okay. So, okay. Any other questions from anybody? Okay, no problem. Okay, so Israel. Okay, if you want to ask or stop here, tell me.
No, for me that's
okay. No problem. Right. So, if no more questions, so let's stop here. So tomorrow, I'm planning to do Sfiras HaOmer. maybe let's prepare also for Chol HaMoed, prayers for Chol HaMoed. I also planning to cover the restrictions on during this Sefira. I mean, that's it. So any questions, wherever you have questions for Pesach, please prepare for tomorrow, because it's a last opportunity after the Chol HaMoed. Okay, no problem. So good night if you don't have questions, and until tomorrow. Thank you.
Good night.